Hello, welcome to my channel. I'm All Things Wrestling, and today I'm going to give my comments, opinions, and the results of WWE Raw 12th of December 2016. We kick off the show with the New Day making their way onto the stage as they get ready to try and match Demolition's record title reign, which will happen tonight at midnight. Not now, in a couple of hours, I think, for this video. Big E says tonight they'll join the Immortals. Kofi says they get to break a record that has stood for more than 25 years. Xavier said they have a chance to propel themselves and anyone who ever bought a New Day t-shirt, anyone who chanted New Day rocks, they have a chance to propel everyone who supported them. What stands in their way is a triple threat match. Xavier wonders what that even means. The New Day has been described as a triple threat. Kofi says Xavier is the brain of the group. He said that he is the finest part of the group. Big E said he is the meaty part of the group. Kofi wants the other teams to come out so they can make history. We see a room being set up for New Day's victory celebration. So we have that match. We have the New Day versus Gallows and Anderson versus Sheamus and Cesaro. It was a really, really good match to kick off Raw. Everyone got their offense and it was really good. The finish happened. Cesaro get Anderson up and Sheamus hit the bro kick, and then Kofi hits a Trouble in Paradise on Sheamus and gets the 3 count. It was a really, really good finish. Then we go to the New Day backstage having a party. Stephanie has a toast for the New Day. She congratulates them on being the longest reigning tag team champions. Then Xavier's shaping the champagne and sprays it and it gets all over Stephanie. She flips the bowl out of Big E's hand and then just storms off. It was amazing to see her get a bit of comeuppance, even if it weren't much. It was really good. Then we go back to Stephanie backstage. She asks for some clean clothes. Kevin says that the New Day do not deserve to be champions. Stephanie tells Kevin if he wants a favour, go ahead. Kevin says he has an idea, and then she says, I'll listen, but let me just go get changed first. I can't wait to see what is going to go on with this. The whole party thing and her talking to Kevin was really good. Then we go to match 2 of the night. Braun Strowman versus Curtis Axel. Then we go on to the second match of the night. Braun Strowman versus Curtis Axel. Strowman hit a wheelbarrow gutbuster on Axis for the 3 count. Usual squash match by Braun Strowman. Then Byron Saxton got in the ring and then asked if he had a response to Sami Zayn. Braun tells Byron to congratulate him on his victory first and then ask questions. Byron then asks Braun about Sami's question. Braun says Curtis Axel looks like Sami Zayn. He is an annoyance. Braun said that Mick Foley is protecting Sami. He said Sami cannot last 2 minutes and no one can. That was a good little segment, hyping the feud. Then we go to Mick Foley in his office watching on a monitor. Sami Zayn enters and he says he is sick and tired of asking for this match. He wants this. Mick says he cannot do it. Sami asks if it is won't instead of can't. Sami says no one needs to save him. Who would Mick Foley be if they stopped him? Mick says he wishes someone was there to save him. Mick says Braun is playing an entirely different game than Sami. Sami is trying to win while Braun is trying to end his career. Sami said he can play that game too. Sami says that Mick does not think he can do it. Mick says he knows he cannot do it. Sami says his childhood hero and boss does not believe in him. Maybe he does not need to be on Raw anymore. Mick says he'll talk to Daniel Bryan to work on a trade. This angle was really, really good. Again, it's building up the feud. Not much more that we can say than that. Then we go on to match 3. Daivari versus Lynch Dorito. It was a alright match. Jack Gallagher's music's played, so he came out mid-match and said he has something to say. He said he is an extraordinary gentleman. He is announcing his intention to interfere in this match. He said he does not condone this behaviour, but he said that Daivari is a scoundrel. Jack says he is here to give him a thorough thrashing. Daivari goes to the floor and they exchange punches and the referee calls for the bell. It was a no contest. Gallagher and Daivari fight in the ring. Gallagher with headbutts and a drop kick that sends Daivari to the floor. First of all, Jack Gallagher, I love your language. You sound so posh in English, which is weird coming from an English person, but it was so good. Scoundrel. Thorough thrashing. I love it. The brawl was good. I'm loving their feud at the minute. It's finally giving the Cruiserweight division depths and meaning. Then we go to the Rollins report. Seth makes his way to the ring. Seth welcomes everyone and says that it needs to be said again and again until it goes through his thick skull. He says he wants Triple H. Last week he laid down the gauntlet. His road to redemption ends with Triple H, but it goes through the WWE Championship. He cannot isolate Kevin until he's got rid of Kevin's maybe best friend, Chris Jericho. He has his chance on Sunday at Roadblock. Seth says he wants to know if it will be Seth Rollins versus Chris Jericho or Seth Rollins versus Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens. His guest has the answers about that match. Kevin Owens comes out and he turns around and goes to the back. Kevin gets a stool and then sits on the stage. Seth wants to know why Kevin is all the way up there because he has a stool for him. He asks if Kevin can get into the ring without Chris Jericho holding his hand. Kevin says that this is the best that Seth is getting. He does not care about the Rollins report. He came out here because he has an announcement to make. Seth wants to know how Kevin's friendship with Chris Jericho is going. Kevin says that after talking to Stephanie, Seth asks about the friendship again. Seth brings up what happened last week. Kevin said the only thing that you need to know is that Chris Jericho will have his back on Sunday, just like he will have Chris's back on Sunday. Kevin said his announcement is that he tells Seth not to interrupt him or he's go to the ring and break Seth's face. Kevin says after talking to Stephanie McMahon and what the New Day did earlier, the New Day are in another tag title match tonight. It will be against the team of Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho then makes his way to the stage. Chris has a question for Kevin. He asks if Kevin is crazy. Does he think after what happened last week when he cost him the United States title, or what Kevin said 2 weeks ago, that Chris would ever want to be Kevin's tag team partner again? Kevin then apologises for what happened. He tells Kevin to think about the present and the future. They can make history by winning the tag titles and ruin the New Day and their quest for the longest reign as tag team champions. Kevin said the match will happen one way or another. Chris can stay mad and it won't happen, or they can work together and win the tag titles. Seth said that Kevin is telling Chris what to do. Kevin wants a reunion between Bon Jovi and Meatloaf. Chris tells everyone to shut up and he calls Rollins a stupid idiot. Seth wants to know, what will you do? Will Sparkle Crotch put him on the list? Chris asks Seth if he knows what happens when people talk to him like that. Seth Rollins, Chris drops a pen and says he will put Seth on the disabled list. Chris walks into the ring and Kevin stops him for a moment. Kevin joins Chris and they surround Seth. Kevin gets Seth's attention. Jericho hits Rollins from behind. They double team Rollins on the floor and send him into the ring barrier. Kevin slaps Rollins and sends him back into the ring. Roman Reigns then makes his way down to the ring and punches Owens and Jericho. Jericho and Owens take care of Roman. Seth takes Jericho down and Roman with a boot to Owens. Roman with Superman punch to Jericho. Rollins pulled Jericho out of the ring before Rollins can hit the pedigree. It was a really, really good segment. I mean, the brawl, first of all, was really good. It was nice to see Roman. No, it wasn't. It's definitely showing more the breakup between Chris and Kevin. It was really good. Seth looking really good as a babyface. Roman's just there. I don't like Roman, but that's not really a secret. But it was a really, really good Rollins report. Rich Swann is in the interview area. He is asked about last week's match against Brian Kendrick. Then he is asked about the triple threat match at Roadblock and how does he prepare for the match. Swann said it does not matter if TJ Perkins, Brian Kendrick or the entire Cruiserweight division is in the match. Brian Kendrick shows up and he says that Swann glossed over everything. Kendrick said if it wasn't for TJ Perkins, he would be champion. Swann interrupts and says he knows what Kendrick is trying to do. Kendrick said it is a match Swann's buddy weasels into. Then TJ shows up. Swann says that Kendrick is saying that Perkins is a traitor and he only cares about the title. Perkins said that he will do what it takes to win the title back on Sunday. Swann will find out on Sunday while Kendrick can find out now. Really good little interview thing. Definitely giving them more character, more meaning for the matches. And we do go straight to TJ Perkins versus Brian Kendrick in a Cruiserweight match. Really good match again. The finish happened with Kendrick hitting Sliced Bread number 2 for the win. Good match. Again, these guys are showing real potential. Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns are walking in the back. Mick Foley stops them. He said they look good fighting side by side. That reminded him of a brash team that fought its way to the tag titles. Roman says he is focused on Kevin Owens on Sunday's test, that he is focused on Triple H. Mick said the tag title match is now a triple threat tag title match. This really didn't do much for me. I mean, yeah, we're going to have another triple threat match for the tag titles. Seriously? Twice in one night. But let's move on. Then we have a look at the Iron Man match for the women's title at Sunday. So then we go to the hype package for it. Sasha says everyone has one person they are internally bound to. Charlotte says it is a person who elevates you to a whole different level. Sasha says it's someone who pushes you. Sasha says Charlotte and her have made history together. Charlotte says together they have raised the bar in the women's division. They say it's time for them to end this feud. Charlotte says she is the greatest female athlete. Sasha says as much as she despises Charlotte as a person, as a competitor, she brings out the best in her. How can they make history together again? Charlotte said this is the end of the line. Sasha will bow down to the Queen. Sasha says she will retain her title. It was a really good hype package. I'm really looking forward to the second woman Iron Man match. I'm glad they're not billing it as the first, because we do remember Sasha versus Bayley Iron Man match, and that was amazing. Then we go to our fifth match of the evening, Bayley versus Alicia Fox. It was a standard sort of Raw women's match. Bayley won with the belly-to-belly suplex. It was alright. Bayley won. That's the main thing. Then we go to Lana in the ring. She introduced Rusev. Rusev says, ever since he got here, he has destroyed your American heroes one by one. Last week was different. He threw out the American trash. Week after week, Enzo Amore comes out talking about how he is a certified G. Rusev says he figured out that the G stood for garbage. After he took out the garbage in the hallway, he returned to the room with Lana, and they did their business. Rusev asked if you would like to see what he's talking about. Rusev said he must warn everyone that the footage is a little edgy and a little bit out there. Lana says it might be a little sensitive for some eyes. He asks if you're ready to see what they do behind closed doors. Are you ready to see what Lana does behind closed doors? We see the footage from last week, nothing new. Lana says this footage is so good it makes her so happy. She asks if you thought that they were going to show what they do behind closed doors. She calls everyone gullible, just like Enzo Amore. Enzo thought he had a shot with her. Rusev said his smart and beautiful wife had a plan with that little rat. She cornered him, and then Rusev said he squashed the rat. If you disrespect him or his wife, he will crush you like he did to Enzo. Then Lana did the soft chant but spat out the word crush. It was really good. Then Cass came out and told Rusev that he gave Enzo the beating of a lifetime last week. Enzo is at home recovering. Enzo likes to run his mouth, but at least he has the balls to back it up. Last week you caught him with his pants down. As for tonight, this isn't a hotel room and his pants are on. Then they have a brawl. Rusev hits Collins as he enters the ring. Cass with punches of his own. They fight to the mat. Cass with punches to Rusev. Roman takes Cass to the floor and they go through the ropes. Rusev runs Cass into the ring barrier. Rusev with a knee to Cass sends Rusev into the ring barrier. Rusev with a kick, Colin with punches, and then Rusev abandons to the back with Lana, and Cass stands in the ring. It was a really good brawl, but the segment leading to it was just kind of boring and drawn out, I'm going to be honest. It could have been better. Then we go to Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho in the locker room. Kevin tells Chris that he knows why Mick put Seth and Roman in the match. It's because Mick does not like them. Tonight they will become the Universal and Tag Team Champions. It is them against the world. Chris asks if it is like it is always going to be. Why not worry about the tag titles tonight? Alright, segment. Just kind of helping plant the seeds even more. Then we see a hype package for the makeover of Emelina. And apparently she was meant to be tonight, but then it keeps saying coming soon. She was even advertised Tonight Show this morning, which was weird. Let's move on. Then we go to match 6, Sami Zayn versus Jinder Mahal. The match was alright. Sami Zayn hit a clothesline, then it exploded into the turnbuckle, and then a Helluva kick to get the win. It's basic Sami Zayn stuff. After the match, Mick makes his way to the ring and has something in his hand. And then Mick says he just got off the phone with Daniel Bryan. After negotiations, Sami will be traded to SmackDown for a talent of equal value. All Sami has to do is sign the papers. Sami said that depends on one thing. Will he get the match with Braun Strowman or not? Mick says Sami does not want this match. Deep down, the answer is no. Sami says that he will sign whatever he needs to sign. It is good to be a big fish in a small pond. Mick asks Sami if he wants to know who the other talent of equal value is. Mick says that Sami will be traded for Eva Marie. Sami then got rightfully pissed off at that and said he's worth 100 Eva Marie's. He's worth 1,000 Eva Marie's. He cannot believe Mick does not get Sammy because Sammy is like Mick. How many people told you no and that you cannot take the risk? Sammy said he is sick of paying for Mick's mistakes. Sammy says he wants Braun Strowman. Mick asks Sammy what he wants. Mick says he wants Sammy to remember this moment in time. Remember how bitter you are and how the rage dwells inside of you. He wants Sammy to bottle up and duplicate it when you face Braun Strowman at Roadblock. Mick said there was never a trade. He said he's always believed in Sammy. He wanted to know if a guy who was as nice as Sammy could tap into that evil place to survive a monster like Strowman. The answer is a resounding yes. Mick says he's giving Sammy 10 minutes to prove him, Stephanie, and anyone else who ever doubted him wrong. This was a really good segment. I liked it. I know it's Mick Foley doing the overhyped thing, but it was really, really good. It's definitely making me hyped for Sami Zayn versus Braun Strowman, and if he gets his push like the rumours are on the internet, I'll be so happy. Then we get told that Cass versus Rusev will be at Roadblock. Then we go to the main event, The New Day versus Jericho and Owens versus Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins for the tag titles. It was a really, really good match and a very good way to end the show. The finish happened. Owens hit a super kick and then did a pop-up code breaker onto one of the members of some other team. Rollins then pushed Owens onto Jericho to break up the cover. Then they had an argument about what happened. Rollins then hit Jericho from behind and Rollins with a pedigree on Jericho. Big E pulls Rollins out of the ring and Woods covers Jericho to get the 3 count. It was a really good way to end that match, and then we had the most amazing breakup ever. I loved this. After the match, Owens and Jericho in the ring. Owens wants to know what Jericho's problem is. Owens tells him that Rollins pushed him into Jericho. They continue to argue. Jericho says that this is it, they are done. Owens tries to talk Jericho out of leaving, and Reigns waits in the corner. Jericho leaves the ring and then tells Owens turn around, and then Reigns hits him with a spear, holds both belts up above him, and then we end the show. It was a really, really good show. I enjoyed it. It wasn't as good as last week, but it definitely helped build Roadblock to be a really good pay-per-view. And I can't wait for that on Sunday. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this episode, and I'll catch you later.